This is called the Ruke bind off. It's a firm bind off with a good stretch and a little bit of an elasticity to it. It's not as stretchy as, say, Jenny's super stretchy bind off, but I don't like that bind off for socks or cuffs because it flares. This gives you enough stretch to get it on and off. And you don't have to worry about it becoming too tight. If you pull the yarn too much, you're never going to get it too tight. But it's got enough give for you to get it on and off, but it's not going to flare. And that's what it looks like from the top. And you don't have to worry whether, you're working on a purl stitch or a knit stitch. It's worked the same all the way across. So just to get you kind of caught up on what I'm doing here, I was working this sock on 4 double pointed needles. So when I was ready to start binding off, I didn't do anything special. I just I wrapped my yarn around the sock loosely 4 times. So you basically need about 3.5, 4 times the length of your project of yarn. So I wrapped it around my sock 4 times loosely, and then I did cut it. And you see 2 strands here because I was working with 2 strands of fingering weight. So 4 times the length of your project is how much yarn you're going to need for this bind off. And I placed it onto a blunt needle with a big eye, tapestry needle, whatever you want to call it. So my yarn was over here where I was on the last needle. I just went straight over and slipped the tapestry needle into 3 stitches like so, 1, 2, 3, and pushed it all the way through and pulled it so that it's taut but not super tight. And you really can't get it too tight. It's not going to like cinch, and it's not going to pull anything else. So once you pull it through all 3 stitches, you're going to take that first stitch off and just drop it. That's all. And that gives it that little ridge right there, you see. And then you just keep doing that all the way around. So that's where we're at now. I'm on my last of my double pointed needles, and I am just going to keep doing that, sliding it in, and make sure that this yarn is always in the front. So there, it's in my 3 stitches. See? I'll slide it through. And because it is 2 strands, I am taking care to make sure that both strands are pulled through and I don't have one kind of loosey-goosey, because sometimes that happens. So I pulled it through the 3, dropping off that first stitch. And there's no making that any tighter or looser. It is what it is, because this yarn is for this bump here. Now this bump here is what you just slipped off. That's not going to get any tighter or looser no matter how much you pull this yarn. So don't think that it looks weird or it's loose. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's all it is. Super, super easy. And I really, really like how it looks. Again, it's called the Ruke bind off. That's R-U-K-E. So I pulled it through 3, pulled my yarn snug but not super tight. Oh, I keep pulling off 2 of them. Pull off the first stitch and make sure you've got 2 left on there that have the thread running through it. And your yarn is always in front. Sorry, this is a little awkward to do through the camera. 1, 2, and 3. That's it. It's super easy. There's nothing complicated to memorize. And you can do this in flat knitting, and obviously you can do it in the round the way I'm showing you now. So here we are on the last one. Okay, yay, magnifico. So we're going to drop that first stitch, but I want to anchor this so that, you know, there's not like a weird gap, or that it's not just kind of up there. I want to kind of anchor it. So I'm going to go around again through those 2 stitches as we've been doing. Obviously there's not a 3rd stitch there, but we're going to go through those 2. Okay, and we're going to take this last needle out, and then you're going to find, okay, you see this here? This is the last purl stitch of the round. The next here, and it's easy to see because I'm doing 1 by 1 rib, but this is the next, this would have been the first stitch of the round. So you can see where that thread right here, this little thread here, this is my bind off thread, and you can see where it's going into this here. You're just going to go back into that same one. So now you're pulling through 3 like you have been, and now it's closed up. And then you can just start going in and weaving in your end as you normally would. You can pull it a little tight and it blends in. See? And there's no flare. This was the Ruke, and I hope that's helpful for you.